Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's video we are going to talk about something very important. We are going to talk about a confusion that almost every IELTS candidate encounters once they start preparing for the writing task 2 of the test. The confusion is regarding two particular categories. The first one being what are the problems associated and solutions, and the second one being what are the causes and solutions. So what students tend to do is that they mix up the two categories. They are not able to tell the difference between the two of them, and the big loss that you might have if you mix them up is that you will lose 50% of your task response. So what we are going to do in today's video is that we are going to go stepwise, and at the end we are going to try and put the whole puzzle together, which will help you with understanding the difference between the two categories. And at the very end of the video we have a flow chart prepared for you, which will help you actually get a very clear idea of what both the categories are about. So stay tuned, and I hope that you learn something new today. So this is where we start off. We are first going to discuss the difference between problems and causes and how to understand which one the question is talking about. So problems are issues, difficulties, or unwanted conditions. They are the side effects or they are the unfavorable conditions. They build stress and other consequences. They can also be called as effects of something. So issues, difficulties, unwanted conditions, these are the basic synonyms for problems. Now don't get me wrong and try and replace all of these everywhere for problems, but we are not discussing vocabulary today. I'm just trying to explain the meaning of problems. Causes, reasons for something to happen. The starting point of a process is also known as a cause. The starting point of a process, the reason for something to happen, why something happens. So it answers the question why. The origin of a situation, they could lead to something good or they could lead to something bad or something neutral. So these are the main differences between problems and causes. You first need to understand this. You first need to know what they actually mean. So problems are issues, they are difficulties, whereas causes are reasons, they are origins of situations and conditions. They are pretty much different than each other. They almost don't have anything similar, but when it comes to processes, they are related to each other. One leads to the other. What is the meaning of problems associated? Now, in the IELTS writing task 2, you will get the specific term, what are the problems associated in most of the cases. Now, this question could be paraphrased into something different, but in 90% of the cases, problems associated is the term that they use. Problems associated are problems that are specific to one particular situation. Associated means connected, related, or linked to something. So we know the meaning of a problem. A problem is an unwanted situation. It is a side effect. It is something, it's like a difficulty. It is something that is not pleasant. And what is a problem associated? A problem associated is something that is related to one particular situation, that is connected, related, or linked to particularly something. IELTS task 2 questions. So we are going to understand the difference between the two categories using this question as an example. So we have the same concept in both the questions, but we have changed the category. This is how we are going to try and clarify how will you approach both of these categories. In many nations, the average weight of people is increasing. What are the causes? What are the solutions? So the concept of the question is that the average weight of people is increasing. What are the causes? What are the solutions? Same thing, in many nations, the average weight of people is increasing. What are the problems associated and what are the solutions? So these are the two questions through which we will understand these two categories. So if the average weight of people is increasing, what is leading to that? What is the cause of that? And what could be the solution? the average weight of people is increasing, and what are the particular problems related to this condition that the average weight of people is increasing. That is what you need to understand. In today's video, we are not going to discuss on solutions. We are only going to discuss on the first half of the questions, the causes and the problems associated. Yes, for supporting us, if you like our videos, you could please hit the subscribe button, and you could also help us by liking our videos, and I would be really grateful if you do that. We work really hard to help you prepare for your IELTS exam, and we would be really thankful if you hit the subscribe button. Now, what are the causes? Causes, we have color coded the presentation so that you could have a nice photographic memory of this whole presentation. Remember, causes in green. Okay, we will get to problems associated, but causes are in green. Okay, causes lead to the condition given in the question. Causes are the first step. They are the starting factor, or they are the origin of the condition given in the question, which in this case is weight gain. The condition given in the question itself is the step 2, or is the result of step 1. It is the result of causes. So step 1 are the causes, or is the cause, and this leads to the step 2, which is the condition given in the question. Now, how to answer for causes? How will you think? What should be your mind at when the question is asking what are the causes and solutions? You should think, why or how did the condition in the question arise? You should think, what is the origin of the condition given in the question? And then finally take a step back. Take a step back and think what happened before the condition in the question. So these are the key words that you should remember: why, how, origin, step back, and what happened before the condition in the question. So this is how you answer for causes. Remember the keywords, remember the color coding. Okay, what are the problems associated? So the condition given in the question, which in this case is weight gain, is what becomes the first step if the category changes to what are the problems associated and solutions. So when it was what are the causes and solutions, causes were the first step and the condition given in the question was the second one. But now that the category has changed, what are the problems associated and solutions, the condition given in the question becomes the first step and the problems associated become the second step. Color coding, remember problems associated, red. Causes was green. So question becomes step 1, in this case weight gain, and your answer should be step 2, in this case problems associated. So I hope this helps. This is just one part of the flowchart, and the one we saw before was another part. We will put this all together at the end. How to answer for problems associated. Now, what you should do in case the question is asking what are the problems associated and solutions. Think, what is the side effect of the condition in the question? Remember the meanings of the word problem we discussed in the very beginning of the video. One of the meaning was side effect. What is the negative result of the condition given in the question? Take a step ahead and think what happens after the condition in the question. So these are the different things that you should think about when you have to answer for problems associated. The key words you should remember are side effect, negative result, take a step ahead, and think what happens after. So the question is first, problems associated come after. Okay. Now that we have understood what are causes and what are problems associated, I just want to let you know that for this particular example, we can answer the question as the cause being bad eating habits, like eating too much of junk food. So if the question is, in many nations, the average weight of people is increasing, what are the causes and what are the solutions? The causes could be bad eating habits. And at the same time, if the question says, in many nations, the average weight of people is increasing, and what are the problems associated and what are the solutions? So we can say the problem associated with this is heart disease. In most cases, if the question is plural, most of the cases the question will be plural. If they're asking what are the causes and solutions, so you will need to give 2 causes and 2 solutions. And what are the problems associated and solutions, so you will need to give 2 problems associated and 2 solutions. Just for reference, I'm just letting you know for the example that one cause could be bad eating habits and one problem associated could be heart disease. Now at the end of this video, now we are going to show you the flow chart, which will help you think of ideas and which will help you get out of this confusion once and for all. Stay tuned for the screen, and you can note it down in your notebook, or else you can take a screenshot. I'm going to turn off the camera now so that you have the whole screen to yourself and I can explain it the best way I can. So the relationship between causes and the condition in the question and problems associated. Finally, we are here. Causes, remember the color coding in green. This is the question condition, which we don't really know in every case because we will see the question and then we'll decide on it. And problems associated in red. Step 1 are the causes. Question condition becomes step 2. Problems associated becomes step 3. In order to answer for causes, what you need to do is you need to think of why the question condition happens, how the question condition happens, or what is the origin of the question condition. In order to answer for causes, you need to take one step back. Question condition should also be well understood, and the position of the condition should also be well understood when it comes to causes, the question condition, and the problems associated. The question condition is what will be given to you. It will be the result of the causes, and it is the step 2 of the whole process. The problems associated, remember the color coding red, is the step 3 of the process. In order to answer for what are the problems associated, you need to think of the keywords side effect, negative result of step 2, which is the question condition. So problems associated is the step 3. And to make it clear, you need to take one step ahead of what is given in the question. Okay, so let us have one quick glance at it all. Causes are the step 1. They are the reason why, they are the reason how, and they are the origin of the question condition, which is the step 2, which will be given to you, which will be the result of step 1. Problems associated are the third step and happen after the question given in the condition. They are the side effect, or they are the negative result of the question condition. If you will be starting from the center of the flow chart, you will be given this particular step, and you might be asked what are the causes and solutions, or you might be asked what are the problems associated and solutions. In order to start, you need to know your position, which will be in the center. If the question is asking you what are the causes, what you need to do is take one step back. Think how, why, or what is the origin of the situation they have given you. If the question is asking you what are the problems associated, you need to take one step ahead of the condition in the question, and you need to think of what would be the side effects or the negative results of the step 2 or the question condition. Remember this flow chart, take a screenshot, draw it in your notebook, or else let us know if there is anything in this case which is confusing you. This will help you get rid of this particular puzzle forever, and we hope that you follow through with it. You should keep on revising this in order to never fall back into that confusion again. So I hope that this would help you. This would have helped you clear out the confusion regarding both the categories, and from now onwards you will not mix them up. In order to remember the distinction between the two, remember the way the human brain works, just reading something once does not actually help you apply it. You need to keep revising it. So if you take a screenshot of the last slide that we showed you and you keep on looking at it again and again till the time that you are appearing for your exam, hopefully it will stay in your mind and you will be able to create ideas and all the steps that we showed you, how to think of causes, how to think of problems associated, and if you even remember the color coding, that's a really easy way for your brain to quickly remember in the answer, in the exam conditions, what the question is trying to ask and what you're supposed to do. So I hope that this video helped you. You learned something new today. If you like our channel, if you like our work, please hit the subscribe button, share our content, and let us know if there is anything in particular you want us to make a video on. Thank you, have a nice day, and all the best with your IELTS preparation.